Last time I was here, I summoned my wolf right in the tavern. All hell broke loose. Good times. Good times. I wonder if they'll remember me.
Oh, we dwarves had a kingdom, and we will have it back. I won't always be sweeping, I'll be riding horseback. We dwarves had a kingdom, and a proud knight was I won't always be sweeping, for my kingdom I'll die. Heavens to Bessie, another one. More queer folk than commoners in Driftwood these days. Just look at you! A sword-slinging stranger if ever I saw one. I'm surprised those robed fellas aren't attacking you up. Anyway, tavern's just down the road. Can't miss it. 'Cause that's where all the queer ones go. Clanking dwarves, dozy lizards. I even saw him drag a void-woken down there in the dead of night. Don't know what's going on in that tavern.
Maybe I'm glad I ain't pulling carts of stinking fish round no more. But what's a beast to do if not pull? How can a beast enjoy this when he's no notion of what his future holds?
Don't let up now. Keep hauling that cargo. That's it. The barrels and the chests.
If there's no work for an honest dwarf like myself, the likes of you don't stand a chance, mate. Best not linger. Your lot tends to rile people up.
Don't let up now. Keep hauling that cargo. That's it. The barrels and the chests. On the double. You too, Julian. Show 'em how it's done, man. Don't let up now. Keep hauling that cargo. That's it. The barrels and the chests. On the double. You too, Julian. Show 'em how it's done, man. Don't let up now. Keep hauling that cargo.
What, I offer nothing less than the wisdom of the ancients. And
That's it. The barrels and the chests. On the double. You too, Julian. Show 'em how it's done, man. Don't let up now. Keep hauling that cargo. That's it. The barrels and the chests. On the double. You too, Julian. Show 'em how it's done, man. Don't let up now. Keep hauling that cargo. That's it. The barrels and the chests. On the double. You too, Julian. Show 'em how it's done, man. Don't let up now. Keep hauling that cargo.
Hope you ain't looking for work. Beware with your reptile.
On the double. You too, Julian. Show 'em how it's done, man.
You ain't got much to say. Off with you.
Don't let up now. Keep hauling that cargo. That's it. The barrels and the chests. On the double. Don't let up now. Keep hauling that cargo.
Away with your reptile.
What? Don't let up
Nothing
now.
less than the wisdom.
You ain't got much to say. Off with you.
That's it. The barrels and the chests. On the double. You too, Julian. Show 'em how it's done, man. Don't let up now. Keep hauling that cargo. That's it. The barrels and the chests. On the double. You too, Julian. Show 'em how it's done, man. Don't let up now. Keep hauling that cargo. That's it. The barrels and the chests. On the double. You too, Julian. Show 'em how it's done, man. Go on, you mute sacks of flesh. Put your backs into it. I'll not lose another day. The Lord Dread awaits. Its sails billow with Dallas's breath.
The Magister stops, barking orders. He sniffs the air like a predator, turns to face you, the wolf eyeing the deer.
You do not get to make that decision. Tell me, have you ever been strung up by the hands? Your body swinging like a bell's clapper as your bones are being broken with cast iron rods? Respect. Try
He licks his lips.
See, I'd like to string you up too. Rack you with rods and leave you dangling over a puddle of your own blood and piss. Oh, no, that won't do at all. I'm very good at what I do, see. There was a whiff of something in the air when you approached. Best convince me I was mistaken.
He leans in closer and sniffs the air once more.
Interesting. So I was mistaken. Must have been ambition I smelt on you, not the magic that dare not speak its name. Very well. In that case, we'll forego the gallows and turn straight to the hunt. Seems peaceful here, doesn't it? A quiet day in a quiet town, but they do. Consider for a moment the dwarf. What is he? A mule? A beast of burden? But some defy that role. There are rats among them, dancing to their rat queen's tune. I've need of a rat catcher. Of course, I must depart post-haste, but Julian here will stay behind and be a good little parrot. Ask and he will answer.
Stay behind? But I've my orders. Same as you. Dallas.
Like I said, Julian is staying. And with that, I must be off. No hard feelings about the death threats, of course. How about we part shaking hands instead of stringing them up? How very heartwarming. One last thing. The Magisters here are diligent men and women. A stranger like you. Should this happen, just wave this piece of parchment in their eager little faces. My signature will placate them without fail. Adieu and good luck. The Lord Dread awaits. The time has come, my stitched lit lovelies. We set sail. get on board and man your stations.
Left behind like a dog. Blah. 7 curses upon that ship.
The Magister is rubbing the dirt off his robes, none the worse for wear, apparently, from the blast of magic that knocked him off his feet.
You! The supposed source hunter! I'd be whining and dining aboard the Lord Dread if it weren't for you. Your meddling in Magister affairs had better be worth it. A man of stature wouldn't be moored on a dock with no one but dead fish for company. But here I am and here you are. So, to business. Now answer me. Did you meet with a Magister caravan on your way into town? The hour's growing late and I'm beginning to worry something might have gone wrong. By the bishop's bones, you saw it! Out with it, woman! What happened? Dwarves! The pox on those bearded devils! Raymond, that old goat, always suspected there's more to the driftwood dwarves than meets the eye. Hate to admit it, but I think he may be right. Too many things have gone wrong along Reaper's Coast to attribute to bad luck. Magister ships sinking, weapons disappearing, and as you've seen, a caravan attacked and destroyed. Rumour has it the Dwarvian Queen herself is behind these acts of sabotage. That is what I want you to prove. They've always been snakes in the grass. Cheap labour, sure, and hard workers too. Half of them are their Queen's spies. Her eyes. You know what Queen Justinia is like, surely. A tyrant and a master strategist to boot. There's a local thug, Lohar. He runs an operation out of his hideout beneath the Black Bull Tavern. I suspect
It may be interesting to have a word with him. Find out what he's up to. Where I really want you to ferret around is Reaper's Bluffs, to the west of Driftwood.
it's wild territory, remote and hostile, where I believe the dwarves may have set up a base of operations away from prying eyes. Should you find any such place, and better yet, proof that Lohar is working in behalf of Queen in that case, go forth and let the hunt commence!
Keep to yourself, lizard.
Enjoy your freedom while you can, lizard. Your day's coming. Oh, yeah, it's coming.
Quite a tale on you. Penny for a sick dog.
A glance at the dog's miserable face tells you it's sick, all right.
What am I, dog's doctor? Dog's sick. Go on, kiss a penny for a sick party for a penny. You can sing him a love song and call him Mummy. Thank ye kindly.
They don't come visit your tongue. Who will?
Much obliged. Could I push you for one more? Cheers. Can I trouble you for just one more? You're very calm. Nice. Could I?
Never forget.
There's the spirit. Much obliged. Cheers. Can I trouble? You're very calm. Go on you, do you? Milady, then get out of the way. Penny for a sick dog, Pete.
The dog lies there quietly.
What are you looking at? I'm sick here. Get lost. Got a pain in the neck. Got a bad pain in the neck.
It flinches. A low, threatening growl builds within its throat. Under the collar, you find the sharpened points of metal rivets, gouging the poor dog's skin. The dog bares its teeth at you, and the dog gives you a long, hard stare. But the dog goes to bite your hand, and then realizes the...
Hey, I feel okay, thanks. Think I'll wander off now. Here, before I go, what can I do to show my gratitude? Master did. Huh? Wait a minute. Master hurted me?
You're safe among
Excuse me a minute. I'm gonna go now, but first...
He turns to his master.
You bad man, you!
Penny for a grieving beggar whose dog ran away.
Not in any mood to talk about it.
God damn it. How was my livelihood? Penny for a grieving beggar? I reckon I'm owed it here. You wouldn't do that, would you? Oh, yes. You would do that, wouldn't you? I couldn't prevail upon you to change your mind, could I?
keeping it together, Bree. I'm all right, as long as I don't think about it too much. You're safe among friends. Never forget it.
Go on and get lost, you freeloader. I'm working it up.
Keep to yourself.
Penny for a grieving beggar whose dog... Go on you, do you?
We pay more for less.
War's a brewing, my friend, and we may find ourselves on different sides. In which case, special prices for you while we're still... War is hell, my friend, but it's very good for business. Good luck to you.
Keeping it together, Bree. I'm all right, as long as I don't... We're safe among friends. Never forget it. Smells worse over here than a dozen rotten eggs dropped in a vat of vinegar.
Then don't come over. Not like you're buying anything.
If I don't come visit your ton, who will?
Wouldn't you like to know?
Bishop Alexander was slain by singers. Culprits.
Keeping it together, Bree. I'm all right, as long as I don't think about it too much. You're safe among friends. Never forget it.
Hear ye! Queen Justinia executes 3,000 noblemen for insubordination!
Keeping it together, Bree. I'm all right, as long as you're safe among friends. Never forget it. Smells worse over here than a dozen rotten eggs dropped in a vat of vinegar.
Then don't come over. Not like you're buying anything.
If I don't come visit your ton, who will?
Wouldn't you like to know?
Keeping it together, Bree. I'm all right, as long as I don't think about it too much.
Hear ye!
You're safe among friends. Never forget it.
Alexander was slain by singers. Culprits still at large.
How Ifan Ben Mesd our living breeze. I don't know how you got free, but it'll be back to the joy with you, and no mistake.
She considers your offer.
How much? So little. You can sit and think about your stinginess at leisure, in a prison cell. Oh, that's it.
씨발 탔어. 아니 씨. 말 도중에도 저장할 수 있다는 걸 자꾸 까먹네.
Last time I was here, I summoned my wolf right in the tavern.
Heavens to Bessie, another. Just look anyway, cause that don't know what's going.
I wonder if they
Maybe I'm glad I ain't ears open.
That's it. The barrels and the chests.
On the down.
There's no work for us.
Go on, you, the Lord.
The Magister stops, barking orders.
Oh, but yours is not a stink like the one. Tell me, have you ever been strung up by the hands? Your body swinging like a bell's clapper as your bones. We do cruel things.
He licks his lips.
See, I'd like to string you up too. Rack you, I'm very good. There was a best convince me I was.
He leaned.
Interest very well. See, but they do. Consider I've need of a rat catcher. Of course.
Stay.
Like, and with that, I must be off. How one last should this adieu and the time has come, my stitched lovely. We set sail. Get on board.
These sacks weigh like.
The Magister is
You! The supposed. Yes, I am very much. Now answer me. Did you meet with the Magister? By the Bishop's bones, you saw it? Out with a woman. What happened? Void woken. That means source was used. Which means some. Raymond, that old goat, always suspected there's more to the drift. Too many things. Rumour has it the Dwarvian Queen herself is behind these. They've. You know what? There's a local.
And maybe
It's what? Should you find it in that case?
I'm all right, as long as I don't think about it too much. You're safe among friends. Never forget it.
The dog lies there.
What are you looking at? I'm sick here. Got a pain in the neck.
It flinches. Under the collar, the dog gives you a. The dog goes to.
Hey, I feel okay. Thanks. Think I'll wander off now. Master did. Huh?
He turns.
You bird.
It's all well and good for you with your rations.
Penny for a grieving beggar whose dog. God damn it. That was my livelihood. No. You wouldn't do that, would you?
He gives you a cool look, then rummages in his pocket.
That's your lot. Go. Penny for a grieving beggar whose dog.
I'm all right, as long as I don't think about it too much.
Enjoy your free.
You're safe among friends.
Well, hello, stranger. Interested in Driftwood's finest?
You look down at the cart and see fish with flaking scales, tumours, and, in one case, 3 heads.
It's free to look. Fair travels, friend.
Ifan Ben Mesd is our living braze. I don't know how you got free, but it'll be...
She considers.
How much? So much? You have to be hiding something, and I'm sure Dallas will be... Now, come on. Back into a cage where you belong. Your little tricks won't work on me, Ben Mesd.
The Magister grabs the coin and looks around shiftily.
Get out of here, and don't let me catch you again.
You're safe among friends. Never forget.
Well met, friend.
You look down at the cart and see fish with flaking scales, tumours and, in one case, 3 heads.
It's free. Fair travels, friend.
You're safe among friends. Never forget. How you holding up?
Not in any mood to talk about it.
Back again, eh? Looking for anything in particular? Suit yourself.
Thank the divine you're here to protect
Back
us.
again, eh? Looking for anything in particular?
Yes, of course.
You're safe among friends. Never forget Keeping it together, Bree. I'm all right. You're safe among friends. Never forget it. How you holding up?
Not in any mood to talk about it.
Have it your way.
Wars are brewing. Special prices for you. War is hell, my friend, but it's very good for business. Good luck to you.
Hear ye! Hear ye! Queen Justinia executes 24 noblemen for insubordination!
God knows, stop those beasts. Cold steel. Smells worse over here than a dozen rotten eggs dropped in a vat of vinegar.
Then don't come over. Not like you're buying anything.
If I don't come visit your ton, who will?
Wouldn't you like to know?
Divine order to march against the ancient empire!
Together, Reed.
I'm all right, as long as I don't think about it too much.
You're safe among friends. Never forget it.
Hear ye! Hear ye! Bishop Alexander was slain by Seagulls! Culprits still at large!
Keeping it together, Reed.
Your fish stinks of the void. What kind of rat would sell such filth?
You're safe among friends.
The kind that don't fancy starving, along with the rest of this town. It's all well and good for you with your rations. We've got to take what we can get.
Keep talking, dwarf, and you'll end up eating sawdust from a cell floor.
Ah.
Keeping it together, Reed.
I'm all right, as long as I don't think about it too much.
You're safe among friends. Never forget it.
Hear ye! Hear ye! Divine order to march against the ancient empire!
Keeping it together, Bree.
I'm all right, as long as I don't think about it too much.
You're safe among friends. Never forget it.
Hear ye! Hear ye! Bishop Alexander was slain by Seekers!
Smells worse over here than a dozen rotten eggs dropped in a vat of vinegar.
Then don't come over. Not like you're buying anything.
If I don't come visit your ton, who will?
Wouldn't you like to know?
Keeping it together, Bree.
I'm all right, as long as I don't think about it too much.
Hear ye! Queen
You're
Justice
safe among friends.
executes two
Never
dozen
forget it.
noblemen for insubordination! Hear ye! Divine order to march against the ancient empire!
Keeping it together, Bree.
I'm all right, as long as I don't think about it too much.
You're safe among friends. Never forget it. Smells worse over here than a dozen rotten eggs dropped in a vat of vinegar.
Then don't come over. Not like you're buying anything.
If I don't come visit your ton, who will?
Wouldn't you like to know?
Keeping it together, Bree.
Wars are brewing. Buying or selling?
Never forget it.
Hear ye! Hear ye! Queen Justinia executes two dozen noblemen for insubordination!
Keeping it together, Bree.
I'm all right, as long as I don't think about it too much.
You're safe among friends. Never forget it.
Divine order to march against the ancient empire!
Smells worse over here than a dozen rotten eggs dropped in a vat of vinegar.
Then don't come over. Not like you're buying anything.
I don't come visit your ton.
I won't be seen talking to a lizard. And war with the ancient empires on the horizon.
Hear ye! Hear ye! Bishop Alexander was slain by Seegers!
The Silent Watcher's jaws clench and slacken again and again for no visible reason. Two empty eyes
Latest news! Fresh from the... Many a latest, my friend. The war, the bishop, the queen. What tickles your fancy? Figured you'd ask me about that. Ain't looking too good for you, lizards. Word is, the Divine Order's gonna hit your empire and hit it hard. You remember what happened to the elves, don't you? Ain't no one left standing when you treat 'em to death, Fog. You're lucky to be so far from home, and no mistake. Seven save us. Stabbed in the back he was, by the kill 'em all, I say. Do 'em like Magister Raymond did old Lady Seaver. That'll teach them traitors. I mean, they doomed us all, didn't they? The son of the Divine is dead. Gone. Who'll save us now? Jolly Justinia, Queen of the Dwarves. Ha! Here's 20 or so noble gentlemen. No one knows what they did wrong, if anything, and she has them stripped and whipped all the way to the execution grounds. Didn't even give them the dignity of the sword. No, ma'am. Had them all hung. You ask me, and I say she's mad as a mink with its tail on fire. Queen or no queen.
Think about it too much.
You're safe among friends. Never forget it. Keep to yourself, Liz.
You needing supplies? I'd stock up if I were you. Anything more?
Kind that don't fancy starving along with the rest of this town. It's all well and good for you
How
with
you
your
holding up?
rations. We've got to take what we can get.
Not in any mood to talk
Keep
about
talking, dwarf, and you'll end up eating sawdust from a cell floor. Tell me, have you heard any news?
Smells worse over here than a dozen rotten eggs dropped in a vat of vinegar.
Thank the Divine
Come
you're
over.
here to protect
Are
us.
you buying anything?
I
If I don't come visit you, cousin, who will?
Wouldn't you like to know?
Until later.
How you holding up?
Not in any mood to talk about it.
There's a lot of call for the junk you sell, then.
Why, I offer nothing less than the wisdom of the ancients. And
Vapid fiction, along with a large helping of ham.
Keeping it together, Bree?
I'm all right, as long as I don't think about it too much.
You're safe among friends. Never forget it. Keeping it together, Bree?
I'm all right, as long as I don't think about it too much.
You're safe among friends. Never forget it. Keeping it together, Bree?
I'm all right, as long as I don't think about it too much.
You're safe among friends. Never forget it. Keeping it together, Bree?
I'm all right, as long as I don't think about it too much.
You're safe among friends. Never forget it.
you heard any news?
Nothing good. The voidwoken are everywhere. Thank the divine you're here to protect us.
Yes, of course.
Keeping it together, Bree?
Glad to see you well. Until later, then. You needing supplies? I'd stock up if I were you. It's madness out there. Never seen anything like it. Until later, then.
Nothing less than the wisdom of the ancients
Keeping it together, Bree?
I'm all right, as long as I don't think about it too much.
You're safe among friends. Never forget it.
Hear ye! Hear ye! Queen Justinia executes 2 dozen noblemen for insubordination!
Startled, the guard leaps backwards and reaches...
Shouldn't surprise me like that. Oh, I could have sliced your neck clean open. I know. But everyone's on edge here.
She remains...
Is there more, lizard?
Hackles raised, the dog barks at the sand built up beneath the building.
There's something not right, and that's wrong. It's under the house thing there, and it's bad. I can smell it. You be careful now. What's under there smells...
I don't care if we tear this place apart plank by plank. We will find him.
That's close enough, Reptile. I thought you lizards were all hiding behind your imperial walls. What are you doing in Driftwood?
Then we can get them out, and you can get back to work.
Good. This town has it. Tell me. Have you seen a man around here? Grey beard, grey cloak, a look of madness.
The Magister's eyes narrow.
It's vital that you report anything unusual. We must know. He arrived in Driftwood some days ago, dressed as a tinkerer. He bought and sold a few knickknacks. But we thought nothing of it until our brothers started vanishing. As soon as he knew we were onto him, he ran. We think now. Be on your way.
The dog sniffs the wooden decking, like there's
Something's wrong. Something's wrong, and I don't know, but there's something wrong, and it's underneath the floor. Be careful down there, missus. You're not...
The dwarf peers at an expertly dissected fish, gently...
Fascinating. Oh, my... no, what do you want? I'm gutting fish. What else?
The dwarf flushes red with indignation.
I was speaking to myself. I've never seen anything like these blighted fish before. I want to see what the Voidwoken have done to them. Yes, as it happens. I need to see the effects of eating these fish, firsthand, if you understand me. Do as I ask, and you'll be amply rewarded, I guarantee you. Wonderful. Now, there's 3 samples. that I wish to learn more about.
The fish instantly churns your insides. Everything turns black. A sudden vivid sensation of floating in darkness assails you. There's something in there with you. Something. Hungry and corrupt. You can't breathe. The dwarf suddenly drifts back into view.
How do you feel?
A stream of black bile suddenly erupts from your mouth and across the dwarf's boots. He doesn't even look displeased.
I see. Well, I'm sure it was. Speaking of which, I've learned a great deal from observing you. I owe you a great debt.
The dwarf puffs up his chest and...
The fish is indeed malignant. Lizards are affected by it in the same manner as other species. Thank you, but no. I can only allow for one. The fish you ate is known as the umber monkfish, a remarkably intelligent breed. Now this monkfish, one that's been touched by the void itself, who's to say how its flesh could augment an intelligence brew? Find somewhere that offers intelligence brews, then add this monkfish sample. The effects could be most interesting. So, now my work must continue, as soon as I've got in my quota of fish, of course. Farewell, stranger.
So much as a rat's hair out of place. You tell them. Then we can get them out, and you can get back to work.
The stink of beer almost covers up the stink of fish. Oh there, lizard. Reach for a weapon and I'll see you gutted, filleted and pickled. Now, I'm looking for someone. You might eat. Of course you haven't. Your kind would never rat. If I find you're hiding him from me, I'll cut off bits that won't grow back. If you see anything suspicious, report it immediately, skink. Understand? He's a sorcerer dressed as a tinkerer. Our brothers started vanishing as soon as he fled into this stinking shed, but we'll find him again. We'll have our justice.
A flicker of pain appears on the Magister's face.
I knew those Magisters for years. Trained with them. We've saved each other's lives now. I've got a cat.
Bugger off, I'm busy. Grisha's still the favourite. Bugger off, I'm busy.
Rat's hair out of place. You tell the Magister.
Grisha's still the favourite.
Then we can get them out, and you can get back to work.
If I bet against him, I can win big. Or lose it all.
You see a man, well-fed and wealthy, but stress has lined his face and narrowed his way. He tries to ignore your presence, fails.
See here, scale skin. I'm very busy. The factory is crawling with Magisters, and our shipments to Arks are held up. Time is money. Don't waste my money. What do you want? Fish. This is a fish factory. I'm shipping fish to Arks. Now, please, there's the door. I suggest you use it. That's privileged information. I have a trade to protect. An excellent point. Well made. The answer to your question is, unsurprisingly, a man in a house. A man in a house buys all the void-tainted fish I can send him.
That dark shadow crosses his face once more.
Not that I've ever met the man. Not sure I want to, if I'm honest. Absolutely not. I don't give away sensitive information like that to anyone who just... That really is enough now.
much as a rat's hair out of place, you tell the magisters. Then we can get them out, and you can get back to work.
Ah.
If any of you see so much as a rat's hair out of place, you tell the magisters. Then we can get them out, and you can get back to work.
If I ever go to Arx, I'm staying away from this black house.
What in the seven hells is a lizard doing here? Shouldn't you be in your empire, or stretched out on a rock in the sun?
The Magister bristles. For a moment, his hand twitches towards his sword.
I'm looking for someone, fork-tongued. Grey cloak, grey beard, acting suspiciously. Perhaps you've seen him. Blast! Well, if you do see anything odd, report it immediately. There is a foul creature lurking in one of these shadows, and we will find him.
The Magister glares at you before...
What? You be needing something from me, lass? Ain't much inclined to rub elbows with lizards, if you catch me drift. Ain't no one been standing together since Lucian died. Ain't been no goodwill among your kind, or mine, or anyone else's since the Reds have been in charge. Glad to hear you say it. The day will come we'll overthrow 'em, you mark my words. Until then, I'll practice the art of gutting unspoiled fish. Fugitive? I don't think that's something I should be discussing with strangers. Because I don't intend to end up with me lips stitched. No, I shan't be baited. I ain't saying nothing on the topic no more. Godspeed buggered fine. I'll tell.
The dwarf leans in and...
This fella runs along, right? Sweating, panicking. Red's racing after him like hunting hounds. Hide in a barrel, you fool, I yelled. But what do you know? Problem is, he's still in there. Been hours. Can't go nowhere, he can't, not with the Reds around.
The dwarf reaches into a barrel and pulls out a fish. His knife glides, the innards fall to the floor, landing in a pool of dark bile. You'd expect fish to smell, but these reek.
Aye, the coin's sweet, and the smell sure ain't. Mind you, the boss found a buyer for this lot, so my knife stays sharp and my pockets stay full.
Your clap on the back knocks his knife askew, cutting a jagged line through the best of the flesh. He looks at you with disgust as he tosses the fish aside.
Lucky ain't the word I'd use, nor's patient. So go slither somewhere.
The dwarf turns back to his work, slicing and disemboweling fish after fish. As the blood... Looking at the barrel, you see that someone has scrawled Black House on it in paint.
Here. Still no sign. So report. Of course you haven't. If I find you're hiding him from me, I'll... He fled into this stinking shed.
The Magister moves away to inspect a nearby pile of fish, but you can feel his eyes on you. Behind the containers, the fish in one of the barrels...
Please, you have to help me. The Magisters have gone mad. I'm a salesman. I tinker. I fix things. I wonder. Please help me. I don't want to die. I don't want them to take me. I have no idea. I only arrived in town a few days ago. I sold a few items to Grandmaster Kem in Arx and stopped off here on my way to Scythiel. I was just sitting in the tavern, minding my own business, and...
You hear a quiet sob.
Why is this happening? I didn't do anything.
There's a moment of silence from within the barrel.
I may have been studying some new scrolls I bought. They might have been, well, they called for source. But that doesn't mean I had anything to do with the disappearances. I'm a tinkerer. I'll fix things for a living. I would never hurt anyone. I don't know. It could be anyone in the tavern. None of them have any love for the Magisters. Please, all I know is it wasn't me. What? I don't know. I don't have much. Please, what I have is more valuable than any coin purse. It can be yours. I just need to get out of Driftwood. I can't risk being seen. But if you can get out of town, I can escape to Arx. Please, I'll do anything. Just don't let them see me. Don't let them find me. Damn it, hurry up. I can feel the fish oozing everywhere. Okay. Go if you have to, but please be quick. If the Magisters even think that I'm here, well, we'll all be sorry. I have enough niter and brimstone to turn this factory into a crater. Please. I don't want to die. But if the Magisters find me, I won't let them take me. I won't. Thank you. Oh, Lucian. 7 times divine, thank. I'll follow your lead. But please, be careful. If... And? What news? And?
You found him!
The Magister steps forward with a smile.
What? What? No, you said you'd help. You promised. You promised you'd get me out. Liar. You d-
I miss Joe.
And?
Well now, how's my...
Ivan smiles and salutes.
You found him!
아씨.
Excellent. Now, stand aside.
먼저 척구병을 한 명 보내야겠구만.
And?
this place plank by plank. I'll find him. You lied! You said you'd get me out!
이거 어디로 가야 된다 그랬지 근데? 내가 잘못된 데로 내려갔나? 어디로 가야 된다 그랬지? 아, 씨.
Don't speak his name. Gives me the willies.
Watch it. Powerfully unlucky. What is it, boy? Pick up a scent, did ya?
Picked up a scent,
You
did you?
must have picked up some sauce.
Must have picked up some sauce.
Halt! The hound smells sauce on you. Plenty haven't got a collar for you. I'm sorry, but I can't let you leave. Hounds, at the ready. Fine, fine. Do all the gallivanting you want. But if a hound goes snapping at your heels, I'm looking the other way. Careful out there.
Buzz off. Speak his name. Gives me the willies.
He's as gone as the rest of them. Unlucky family, that.
Powerful too.
Powerfully unlucky. Something got your attention, boy?
Something
got your attention,
He
boy?
smells a sorcerer.
Must have picked up some sauce. Bless her.
And?
Elf, have you seen a human acting suspiciously near here? Grey cloak, grey beard.
Are we safe? At last, I can breathe again. At last! I was sure I'd die in that wretched. You have my thanks. If not for you, I probably would have been found, gutted, and salted. Oh, of course. Here. This is the most powerful scroll that I have. And the one that caused all the trouble in the first place. Take it. I hope I'll never see its like again. It must have belonged to one of their mission friends. They nearly lynched me then and there. I thought she was an idiot selling it so cheap. Then again, I'm the dolt who ended up in a barrel. But if she has Magister artifacts, she must be the one they're looking for. I swear, once I get to Arx...
Don't speak his name. Gives me the blues. Powerful too. Bless them anyway. Except you know which.
If you see anything crates, barrels, piles of fish, he could be anywhere.
Please, Alexander, don't fish me. Get her, Dallas. Get that sorcerer.
It doesn't make sense. I'm missing.
Take that, sorcerer. Dallas, get her.
You're dead, Alexander. Alexander, you're dead. You have to stay dead and...
Here, missus. Alexander doesn't have to stay dead, does it? Hey, are you a lizard? See? Told ya. Take that, sorcerer. Come on, Dallas, help me.
Turtle Johnny puts an invisible...
Take that, sorcerer! No more saucy sorcerer. I hate this game.
The three kids stare at you in...
Crack! The source collar's broken. I'm free. How about you, Dallas? I'll kill you again.
For a moment, you watch the children play. Then... The dwarf is unnaturally still. You might mistake her for a corpse, were it not for a slight twitch of her eyelids. She calmly opens her left eye, then her right.
What do you want? Nah, nice quiet spot for cobwebs, I reckon. Maybe some spiders and silverfish, rats. Nothing you want. Unless you collect cobwebs, I guess. Wine all you want.
Before you can ask more, the dwarf is unnaturally she calmly opens her...
What do you want? Nah, cobwebs, I reckon. Maybe some spiders and silverfish, rats. Nothing.
The dwarf unfolds her arms and shoots to her...
All right, human. Right, glad Lohar ain't left us here to wither. Those brutes are taking their sweet time down there. I gotta send word soon. Who knows? Anything that gives away what Mordus has been up to. Probably got all sorts of tricks for covering his tracks, but the goons downstairs, that weird priest's been hanging around Lohar for ages. Those half-wits below. Get to it then. But tell the lunkheads that Glenn has sent you before they bash your brains in.
Maybe if we had a crowbar.
You think a crowbar would open this thing? What? You got rocks knocking around that noggin of yours. We'd have more luck asking dudes.
I've spotted something.
Maybe if we had a crowbar.
You think a crowbar would open this thing? What? We'd have more luck asking Duna to open it for us than for it to budge by our own hands.
Maybe if we had a crowbar.
You think a crowbar would open this thing? What? You got rocks knocking around that noggin of yours. To budge by our own hands.
Maybe if we had a crowbar.
You think a crowbar would open this thing? What? You got rocks knocking around that noggin of yours.
crowbar.
You think a crowbar would open this thing? Oh, you got rocks knocking around that noggin of yours. You got rocks knocking around that noggin of yours. We'd have more luck asking Doolin to open it for us than for it to budge by our own hands.
Maybe if we had a crowbar.
You think a crowbar would open this thing? Oh, you got rocks knocking around that noggin of yours. We'd have more luck asking Doolin to open it for us than for it to budge by our own hands.
Maybe if we had a crowbar.
You think a crowbar would open this thing? Oh, you got rocks knocking around that noggin of yours. We'd have more luck asking Doolin to open it for us than for it to budge by our own hands.
There we go.
Opening,
The
finally.
door's opening.
By Doona's dagger. You here to free us or kill us?
The male dwarf expels 2 lungfuls of air and glances.
We've only been fretting here for a few hours, but it's felt like days. That snot-nosed priest's as slippery as a snake in an oil drum.
Ain't found nothing that lets on what Mortis is up to. Only thing we managed were to close that door and get us stuck. And if there's another door out there, never could find it.
Noir ain't gonna be pleased.
Ain't no telling where that priest has gone to. Started acting all funny not so long ago. Well, at first, he was just buddying around with Lohar and the rest, you know. But then he'd start looking all sickly and run off for a deal. Then some stranger tried taking old Lohar down, but got himself caught and tied up. Ain't no coincidence.
She taps a finger against her forehead.
A woman knows things. Nothing's getting past me. Best we head off then.
The shrine depicts Duna, yet has clearly seen better days. Scratches and fissures deface its exterior, and its eyes have been gouged hollow. The stone is cold against your palm. If this, you scrape your knee on the wooden...
Well, this won't do. If I can get stuck, then I can get unstuck.
The shrine depicts you run your hand. There's no mistaking the sound of stone chafing.
Ain't no rest for any dwarfing.
All this damn work
Might as well have rotted in the death fog. What's even the point?
The cat stares up at you. Its midnight black pupils are too prominent for you to distinguish.
8 lives already gone, but I'd gladly lose the last if you can throw me a fish. One of those smelly kind. Wouldn't say no. Fills the belly. Oh, but the other ones, so yummy. They take the air turns dark when I eat them. It feels so beautiful against my fur.
The cat eats the fish in a few seconds' time, then looks up at you and gives a groggy...
Maybe I should stick to the good stuff for a while.
He pokes his nose at your map, leaving a wet spot.
I think you'll find something interesting there. Found me some goodies during life number 6. I'm so...
What do you want? Can't you see I'm busy? Oh, you want a list? I've got eggs to lay, grass to tidy, grain to clear, and magister boots to peck. Now if you'll excuse...
Well, ain't you a tall drink of tallness? What can I do for you, honey?
She fluffs them and coos.
You're so very, very sweet to notice, honey. Ain't easy keeping him so nice in a dusty... Sure, why not? Not all of 'em hatch, you know. And between you and me, honey, I don't mind the taste of an omelette now and again. Go on and scoot then, honey.
What's this? I found something.
I'm so...
I'll stay out of there.
Occupied! Oh, unholy hells! How about a little... Oh, that's what I get. Bloody tainted stew. Makes a little... Oh, fish, save me!